Hi everyone, and welcome to a new free webinar. Tonight I am going to talk about your gut and your brain, because a happy gut means a happy brain. And of course I'm recording that webinar that you can find again on my YouTube channel that I just started like a few months ago. And I will also be sending you the recording of the video if you would like to save it. The name of my YouTube channel is just Maureen Cellini, as I have been posting, all of the free webinars that I've been doing for the past 3 or 4 months. So, happy gut, happy brain. If you have been feeling anxious, foggy, tired, emotionally flat, fatigue, or just not feeling like yourself, and nobody has been able to fully explain why, most of the time it's because your gut is not doing okay. And we always talk about, like your two brains. So the first one, okay, we know that one, the analytical, emotional brain. But the gut brain, honestly, for me, is much more important because they are connected. And so when you take care of your gut, when you take care of how you eat, how you digest, your brain, your anxiety, your fogginess, your fatigue, they might do much better. So that's what we're going to talk about it today. First, I'm going to talk about the gut and brain axis and why does it matter so much. Then I'm going to talk about what happens when your gut is compromised, leaky gut, inflammation, dysbiosis, and how it shows up in your mental and emotional health. Then number 3, the food, habits, and lifestyle that can help you, okay, to support a happy gut and by extension, a happier, calmer, clearer mind. And then finally, as you know, I have been studying gemotherapy for the past 2-3 months now. And I really love that plant-based approach that I use with my clients and myself too, to support your gut healing at a cellular level, okay? Of course, again, if you have any questions, you can always send me your questions. And if you don't do it during the free webinar, you can always send me an email. It's my absolute pleasure. So, what is the gut-brain axis? Let's just start with one number, 95%. 95% of what? Your serotonin. What is serotonin? Your happiness hormone. Here it is, here she is, that one. And if you don't take care of your serotonin, you are not gonna be happy, as easy as it is. And where do you find your serotonin? In your gut, not in your brain. It's only 5%. Can you imagine that 95% of your serotonin, I love your smile, you're gonna love a lot of things, 95% of your happiness is connected to your gut. So you better eat well. Oh yes, because the more processed food, shitty food, like full of hormones, chemicals, pesticides, the less happy you're gonna be. So the good news is you do have 95% in your hands, okay? It's in your hands, it's in your power to choose which food do I want to give my body in order to feel happy. So no, you don't need the Chanel bag, you don't need the villa in Ibiza, you just need to eat well. And from there, you might be happier. So that's the first most important thing at first that I want you to understand. It's your gut is where your happiness is. The serotonin, so it's a happiness hormones, it regulates your mood, your sense of calm, your ability to feel pleasure and contentment. So almost all of it, again, 95%, is made in your digestive system. So when we talk about depression, anxiety, mood disorders, emotional dysregulation, and we go straight to the brain, trying to fix, like the neurotransmitters in your brain, we are actually missing the biggest piece of the puzzle. Because we're just looking in the wrong room. Before giving you the medication, and again, I'm not against medication, but at first, I would ask you, how do you eat? When do you eat? Are you consistent with the way you are eating? How do you digest your food? Are you bloated? Like all of those questions can also help you understand that maybe by changing, by shifting my way of eating, I might actually feel better. Your gut and your brain, they are in constant communication, okay? Through the axis, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is your longest nerve in your body, running directly from the brainstem, okay, to the gut. It's like your superhighway of information carrying signals in both directions. Your gut sends messages to your brain, and your brain sends messages to your gut, okay? As easy as it is also sometimes, it's like, are you hungry because you're trying to repress some emotions, or are you also really hungry, okay? That's the famous axis between your brain and your gut. Your gut, long story short, contains over 500 million neurons. It has its own nervous system, the enteric nervous system, capable of functioning independently of your brain. And of course, I talk about serotonin because again, it's 95%, but also dopamine, GABA. Alors GABA, you need it to fall asleep. GABA is that amazing neurotransmitter that calm you, okay? Most of the time during perimenopause and menopause, when we start having those insomnia, not sleeping well, like GABA goes with progesterone, the second part of your cycle, that's when GABA is missing, just so you know. And dozens of others, neurotransmitters that directly influence how you feel, think, and experience the world. And at the center of all of this, there is your gut microbiome. Billions of bacteria, microorganisms that live in your digestive tract. And it's a very complex and living ecosystem, okay? That is as unique to you as your fingerprint. When your ecosystem is balanced, you're gonna thrive. When it is disrupted, everything, your mood, energy, immunity, cognition, might begin to suffer. Also, I just want to make an aparté. You have those gut now tests, like test your microbiome, like to see your food sensitivity, to see your food allergies and everything, okay? It's becoming bigger and bigger. I'm not against it, okay? But here's the thing. Because your microbiome is unique, no test actually can tell you what's truly wrong with your gut microbiome, because we don't have any ranges based like the blood test, like you always have, like some scale, some range, like we can tell you, okay, you are in the range, but range based on million people, and even through that range, because you do know with endobiogeny, we read your lab test through the biology of function, you might not even be in your own range. Because it's one thing that Patricia is okay with her vitamin D, let's say at 80, okay? But you maybe, as Marie, you need to be at 90, 100. So those ranges, yes, they're helpful in a way to understand, like how our body functions, okay? And it's all about, like it's more general, but again, in commas, but your gut microbiome, it's like your fingerprint. It's unique. So of course, like you can do that gut test that will give you some information, okay? But again, it's not 100% accurate. Because otherwise, we'll need just 7 billion different gut test microbiome. Okay, so I would say here, I've done one, okay? Like, so I've spent my money, I've done one. I learned a few things. But at the end of the day, I would say that my gut health, I can really see it also when my brain is healthy. When I feel good, when I feel that I have energy, that I am not that anxious, that I digest well, I'm not bloated. Because although there is that big thing, bloated is normal. Yes and no. Okay, like because also being bloated can also be endometriosis, for example, and it means, your body is pretty much inflamed. So also be careful with that, okay? Like trust yourself. Like if you feel heavy, if you feel there is something off, trust yourself as well, okay? So that was just my little aparté, like honestly, I don't think you need to spend money in a gut test. Blood test, yes, for sure. But then it's going to be more about, okay, maybe I'm missing, because we can see if you are missing some serotonin. We can see if you are inflamed, like your vitamin D, like potassium, calcium, and everything. So here we can really help you to feel better. But then just by witnessing what do I eat every day, you will get a strong sense, okay? If, like your mental health can be also impacted by the way you eat. That's it. My 2 cents. Then food for thoughts, okay? You do whatever you want with it. Okay, so talking about gut test. When your gut is compromised, first of all, sorry, but you feel like shit. Like, let's be clear. You feel heavy, you feel tired, you feel that maybe you want to lay down, like it's burning, you are not feeling okay. And guess what? When you are not feeling okay with your digestion, you cannot focus on anything else. I mean, think about the last time, like you had a heavy meal, or you had maybe too much sugar, or you were feeling like heavy. I can guarantee you are not able to focus 100% on your work, or maybe listening to your friend, to your partner, to your children, or just maybe doing some yoga. You were not okay. That's basically, the truth. And so that's why it is so important, to take care of it. So, leaky gut. It's when your intestinal, okay, it's a permeability of your intestines. What is it? So your gut lining, okay, is designed to be selectively permeable, which means it allows nutrients to pass through, okay, into your bloodstream while keeping away any harmful substances. So it's like, okay, this we need it, this we don't need it, okay? It's like a filter, okay? Like, so you are eating and then your gut lining is like, okay, we need that, we don't need this, okay? But when your lining becomes damaged, let's say there is tiny little holes, okay, like all over. What happens? It can happen, of course, through chronic stress, okay? You can also damage your gut lining with chronic stress, unfortunately, cortisol, poor diet, of course, alcohol, medication as well, like antibiotics, food sensitivities as well. For example, when you have to take some antibiotics, I always say after taking your antibiotics, do some oh my God, I have the name of the brand, probiotics, to help, like your gut, like to get back the good bacteria. Okay, it always helps to do it for 2 weeks. I love Seed, SEED, one at night, like they're very good, they're full of good bacteria, but it will also help you to recover also easier, after being sick or in need of taking antibiotics. So all of those develop tiny gaps, okay, tiny. And the things, okay, harmful for you and your body that should stay inside, like the gut, being to leak into the bloodstream. And this creates bacteria, toxins, and so inflammation. And that's why sometimes maybe where you're not gonna eat garlic, eggs, cheese, you might feel inflamed after. Usually, it's when you get that permeability into your gut lining. It's not about, I'm not gonna eat cheese anymore, I'm not gonna eat eggs anymore. It's just to, for the next months, to see by stopping, like maybe the foods that creates, like your bloating, feeling inflamed, to see, the shift, and then you can adapt. Maybe rather than having eggs every day, you will just have eggs once a week. Know as well that the yolk, okay, the yellow yolk, is always better than the white. Usually it's from the white that you get your food sensitivity. Okay, but the yellow yolk is good, like it's full of choline, it's good for the brain, it's full of omega-3 and everything. But then you see also with garlic or cheese as well, if it's not raw, if it's not unpasteurized, so just also like be curious on how your body reacts, like to what you're gonna eat. And of course, that's what I was saying, leaky gut is an inflammation because as you know, your immune system first response is creating inflammation. Okay, like it's actually a healthy immune system. Like to create inflammation. I feel attacked, I'm creating inflammation. The wrong thing is a bad thing, it's when the inflammation never leave your body. Okay, like having some inflammation when you are gonna cut, like your skin, like you're gonna have some bruise, it's healthy. Your immune system is working on your behalf. It's when the inflammation is chronic. That's when for sure, your body needs your help, like to heal from that inflammation. Okay? And of course, unfortunately, that inflammation does not stay only in your gut. It's going to travel in your joints, to your skin, and to your brain. So, when we're a little bit, like rosacea, like some redness, or it's itchy, or like, you have some psoriasis or eczema, or, like, oh my God, my knee, like, or my elbow, or my wrist, like also, it could be, like some inflammation coming from your gut. Because then there is also the histamine. Histamine, it's when you are stuck in a chronic stress. Okay, it's when you are in your orthosympathetic, the alpha mode, okay, when it's like ruminating, like thinking way too much. The more you stay in your alpha mode, the more you're gonna create histamine. And the histamine, it's all of those skin allergies. When it's itchy, like when it's not okay and everything, histamine. Also, you can create more histamine when you keep microwave your food over and over again. Okay, like I know sometimes we don't have time, but the best is if you get some, like leftover, it's you take a pan, you put it for 5 more minutes and everything will be better for you and your digestion. That's guaranteed as well, okay? So, brain inflammation, what is it? It's anxiety. That's what it is. It's anxiety, it's depression, it's cognitive decline, it's chronic fatigue, and it can then even become Alzheimer or Parkinson. All of those neurodegenerative, disease. That's at first your brain being inflamed. But that brain being inflamed, it's your gut. It's the way you have been eating. Too much sugar, too much fat, too much greasy food, like grilled, or like always, like going out, like and going to a restaurant where you use seed oil, for example, like it's not good as well. So you will see there is also that amazing book, Change Your Brain, Change Your Diet. The name, it's gonna come back to me, but Change Your Brain, Change Your Diet. It's a big book, but I think she brilliantly explains, like the connection as well between your brain and your gut. So signs that you might have leaky gut, okay? It's just signs, okay, that you might. You are not a doctor, go see your doctor, okay? Like ask for professional advice. But it can be bloating, gas, digestive discomfort after eating, okay? Food sensitivities that seem to be increasing. Chronic fatigue that does not improve with rest. Brain fog, difficulty, concentrating, poor memory. Skin issues, as I was telling you, acne, eczema, psoriasis. Mood instability, anxiety, low-grade depression, like being afraid. Autoimmune conditions, joint pain and inflammation. And also, if you get the mark from your socks or waistbands, like at the end of the day, usually it's a sign of fluid retention and congestion in your lower body. Horse chestnut is amazing for that, gemotherapy. Okay, like if you do have, especially again, if you still have your cycle, the second part of your cycle, because of our dear progesterone, we keep the fluid retention more, like we keep the water more. So it can also help, like to help your lymphatic system. Okay, but the Qigong is the best thing ever. Right now on Instagram, you have all of those, like routine of 10 minutes, like to just help your lymphatic system. Highly recommended. Chronic stress and the gut. Okay, chronic stress damages the gut lining, so it reduces your beneficial bacteria and increases your intestinal permeability. So that inflammation, based of course, like on your chronic stress, which means your nervous system is in a constant state of high alert. And I know it's the hardest part here. Because it's like, but Maureen, I'm really doing my best, like to take care of my stress, to take care of my cortisol. And I hear you, okay? Like I really, really hear you. But still, you need to find a way. Because stress is the worst disease ever. Having stress is normal, okay? Like it helps you, to not be in danger. But chronic stress is gonna be detrimental. Stress, gut damage, more inflammation, so more stress. And then it's a vicious cycle, you never get out. So breaking this cycle, okay, requires working on both ends. Calming your nervous system, that's for sure, okay? And healing the gut. They are inseparable. So whenever I have a client telling me, Maureen, I'm anxious, I'm stressed, first question is, how do you eat? What do you eat? Because it starts right there. And you can take one step at a time. Maybe having a real breakfast, like with protein and fibers, and good fat, rather than a quick coffee on an empty stomach. What are you doing? If you're still doing that, I cannot help you anymore. It is, seriously, it is so detrimental, It's like your cortisol is high enough in the morning, ladies. You don't need more caffeine, especially not on an empty stomach, please, okay? You're already high-wired. Why do you want to give it more? So you eat first and then coffee, okay? I'm not saying no more coffee, not at all. I'm from France, okay? It's all about pleasure and dolce vita, okay? But there is an order. And you don't want to damage your gut lining, okay? And a good coffee, not the one in the fucking pocket, like a good one from Colombia, Africa, whatever you like, okay? But a very good one, okay? That smells good, okay? Because you deserve the best. Your body is not a trash. One day, one of my girlfriends told me that, it's like, you know what, Maureen, your body is not a trash can. And that's so true. Sometimes you're like, oh, that's okay, come on, just one, No, you can still have the burger, but good meat, good bread, not going to McDonald's, or In-N-Out or Chick Chack. You can still have a delicious pizza, but with good ingredients. That's the taste that will change everything. In America, unfortunately, there is a lack of taste in the food. a tomato is a zucchini and the zucchini is a red pepper, you know, like you don't even, you know, differentiate any taste. So the more, you know, like thoughtful you can be, yes, I'm just gonna go to my farmer's market, you know, but at least it's tasty. So then all of your tiny bud on your tongue, they're like, it's so good, you know, like I don't need to eat more. And here you're also helping your gut lining, okay? And then finally the dysbiosis, okay? It's simply an imbalance in your gut microbiome. That's where, you know, the gut test is like, it's gonna help you. Yes and no. But too much of certain bacteria, not enough of others. And this again can be caused by antibiotics, a diet high in processed food and sugar. Again, it's 25 grams per day maximum. When you look 25 grams of sugar, what it is, it's nothing. I swear to God. Like if you already have your sourdough pasta and a piece of sourdough bread, you know, like a piece of chocolate, you are done. You're done. So when one of my friends showed me on Saturday, look, he was drinking mate, like a new mate and everything. I was like, oh, there is 28 grams of sugar in it. I'm like, it's even more, you know, that's your daily recommendation of sugar. So you could barely, like here, literally, you can stop eating for your entire day. That's it. Just have cucumber now, nothing else. I mean, so really pay attention to see whatever you buy, you know, if there is any added sugar. If there is any added sugar, just put it back. Sorry, but not sorry, it's poison. At some point, you know what, it's poison. So be careful with that. Stress, lack of sleep, and as well, environmental toxins. When you travel, okay, I love traveling, but we do know that in the plane, in the airport, you know, like there is all those toxic, you know, smells and everything, you know, product. Your liver is the first organ. Liver theme is for next month, but your liver is absorbing, okay, all of those toxins. What I recommend when you are traveling, when you are staying in a hotel, where they're also going to use some scents and everything, is to take some glutathione. It helps, you know, the liver, you know, like to just like release, you know, like toxins and everything. Just for a few days, you know, but just also to help support your liver, detoxify, you know, and not keep all of those, you know, like chemicals and everything, because then what happens, your liver is just like overwhelmed, you know, with everything, you know, as well as your food and everything and your emotions to digest. Like it creates, you know, like a angry liver, because as you know, liver is an anger also place, you know, like, so to help your liver, you have to be at peace, you know, like that's the opposite here. But this is for June. So anyway, again, dysbiosis, microbiome is disrupted, so your mood, energy, sleep, your ability to cope, everything is all over the place, okay? So now you're gonna ask me, okay Maureen, so how do I nourish my gut and brain axis? So good news is you can do a lot of things. That's exactly what I told you earlier on, you know, when I introduced, you know, that new webinar, because it's in your hands. You decide what you want to eat. Nobody is going to force you. So it's on you. It's your responsibility. And this is a good news for me, because you know what? Like, it's choosing yourself, basically. It's like, I choose to be happy. I choose to nourish myself. And so for me, that's the great news here. Your gut response is very quick. That's also another good news. It takes 21 days to recalibrate and rebalance. And you know what? The beauty also of your gut is you don't even need to wait 21 days to feel better. You will feel better in the next 2-3 days. That's how your gut is resilient. Because your gut is responsive to care. When your gut feels, oh my God, she's in love with me now, she's giving me good stuff, you know, your gut will tell you thank you. So you don't even need to wait 21 days, even so it's a full cycle, okay, of regeneration, you know, of your gut. You will see as soon as you're going to change 1 or 2 things, in the next, 2, 3, 4 days, you're gonna feel better, okay? Consistency will make the difference. I prefer you choosing one thing than doing everything at the same time, okay? If you go from Marine, I used to eat so much sweet, now I'm done, no more. Sweetie, in 2 weeks, you're gonna have an orgy, like of sweetness. So it's better to be like, you know what, I used to have 15 cookies. Now, I'm only gonna have 5. Okay, like just understanding, okay, like now I'm just gonna go there. And in the meantime, you also take care of your nervous system. And why do I need to eat 15 cookies? What am I hiding? My sadness? My frustration? Because I feel lonely? Okay, like eating disorders, the binge eating, like I'm just eating because emotionally I'm not okay and nobody can give me a hug, like so I'm just going to find comfort in the food. Because again, food is the first comfort thing that when you're a baby in the womb of your mother, that's your connection with your mom. That's the food. Okay? And whenever you're gonna be sad and everything, and that's something that we need to stop actually also doing, it's when a toddler is having a tantrum, usually we're like, you want a cookie? You want an apple? You want something? No, let them process their emotions. It's okay. Because then food equals comfort. Food equals it's going to hide my emotion and I'm going to feel better. But then when the food becomes your coping mechanism, it can also become an addiction with alcohol, with drugs. We are always looking for something, like to fill us up. While actually, if you can do it, mother, grandmothers, aunts, like cousin, I don't care if you're with kids, just like, you know what, I see you're sad. That's okay. You have the right to be sad. Rather than giving something, here, there is something, don't be sad. There is nothing wrong with being sad. It's part of life. But we are, literally, it's like your emotions are your enemy. And then as an adult, you have to see Marine, being like, Marine, I don't understand. I don't want to cry. I don't want to be sad. Let's do some constellation. You see, if mom and dad, before 6 years old, you do your job, stop giving an apple, well, I won't have any more jobs. That's okay. We'll find something else. But that's how, we raise grown-ups. Because we give you that confidence. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be vocal. It's okay to express yourself. That's a gift right here. And of course we can enjoy food, but not as a buffer. Okay? That's not the point of it. Anyway, so food as medicine, Hippocrates said it, food is your medicine. So of course, remove the obvious disruptors first. Processed food, refined sugar, seed oils, trash, garbage. Your body is not a trash can. You're a goddess, okay? Gluten and dairy, if you have sensitivities, okay? Also, for my girls, it comes from Dr. Mouton. Yeah, Mouton means sheep in French. It makes me laugh anyway. He is a specialist of thyroid. Okay, Hashimoto's, hypothyroid, hyperthyroid. He always say, if you have any trouble with your thyroid, and if you are still eating gluten, I won't see you. If you have anything, even like chronic thyroid, like me, this is what I have. Some days, okay, I do feel my thyroid, like creating more hormones, like to help me because I'm not giving myself enough time to just relax. Gluten and soy, when you are having any thyroid issues, no bueno amigo. Okay? Especially, sorry America, but gluten in America. It's not well processed, and in Europe, I can have croissant, pain au chocolat, whatever, I want. I'm on fire, like everything is good. In America, my gut is on fire. So I'm being on fire in Europe, okay? So just be careful, also with that. Dairy, raw dairy, is always better. Goat cheese or sheep cheese, like feta, like no lactose, is also easier to digest. But again, you adapt, okay, based on your body and how your body reacts. Bon, alcohol, of course, alcohol. It's one of the most damaging things for gut lining and microbiome diversity. Again, one glass of a very good wine full of polyphenols, I'm all for it. But it's not the wine at $1, the bottle, like just to kill your gut and kill the mood, okay? Like, no. If you really want to drink, have a great glass of champagne or wine, or maybe a very good vodka, but just something, that, yes, I'm gonna invest in that. Because I do know at first, it's not good, but at least I will get the best out of it. Okay, the taste, the moment, the experience, okay, to be with friends, to enjoy my life. And then, of course, chronic use of unnecessary antibiotics. We consume a lot of antibiotics. Even just the Advil, like my head, or Tylenol and everything, it creates also inflammation on your gut. What you can do to help your gut. I'm a big fan of bone broth. That's the first thing first that I drink every morning. I know my friends are like, what? I'm like, yes. Right now, if I don't have my bone broth every morning, I am miserable. I guarantee you. I found two great ones, okay? There is one at Whole Food. It's Butcher's. There is no food maps, high sensitivity food like garlic and everything, because sometimes also you can be also sensitive. So Butcher's has the chicken, beef, and also for my vegan and vegetarian, turmeric and ginger, okay? You also have Kettle, the brand Kettle, Kettle. And then my favorite one, it's a bit pricey, I'm not gonna lie. It's from LA, because I love LA. It's Skin Owl, so Skin, S-K-I-N, Owl like the animal, O-W-L. It comes in a big mason jar, okay? So you have it for, because it's like 1 cup, per day, like, except of course if you also want to cook your rice with it, very good. Sprouted rice, sprouted quinoa, much better for your gut microbiome, okay? Like you digest much better. And you can use also bone broth because it's full of collagen, gelatin, and it repairs and seals the gut lining. Okay, truly for me, that's one of my absolute favorite and something I drink every day. Okay, and what I love about Skin Owl, there is lavender and cilantro. So lavender also for your nervous system and cilantro for detoxifying your liver. Also, feel free to do it on your own, homemade. Okay, that's also what you can do. Personally, right now, I don't have time. Okay, but it's personal. If you do have time, you ask your butchers, can I get all of the bones, that you want to get rid of, and you do your own thing, okay? Fermented food can also help, okay? Kefir, kombucha, miso, kimchi, sauerkraut. These introduce beneficial bacteria directly into your microbiome. I just want to say one thing. Fermented food, for the one with a fire digestive system. If you know Ayurveda, you have Pitta, Vata and Kapha, okay? If you are Pitta, dominance Pitta, I am Pitta, fermented food can create more fire. So sometimes I'm gonna have, but not so much. Again, your body is unique, okay? So here I'm giving you general advice, but then you adapt, okay, to what makes sense to you and your own digestion. Very, very important. Fiber. Alors, fiber is for everyone, guys, okay? We need to eat fibers. We don't eat enough fibers. Veggies, legumes, whole grain, fruits, diversity matters, okay? Like, because different plant food per week as possible. The more, the better. It should be half of your plate. Not like I'm having pasta with 2 zucchini. No, you're having zucchini with a few pasta. Okay? That's so important for the ones, just for if your fiber intake is pretty low, pretty poor, you might be bloated at first. when you are going to reintroduce more fibers, okay? Don't worry, it's gonna pass in the next 1 week or 2, okay? But that's normal, that's a normal reaction, okay, of your gut readapting to that new information. Omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 is anti-inflammatory and essential for your brain health, okay? Avocado, walnuts, almonds, flaxseed, fatty fish like sardinia, salmon, tuna really depends, where it comes from, because there is also that risk of mercury. Yeah, we live in a wonderful world. But anyway, just be careful, okay? But fatty acid. And then finally, polyphenol-rich foods, berries, dark chocolate, 70%, green tea, olive oil. Your olive oil, you should get a great one. Okay, extra virgin, like cold press, like just again, your body deserves the best. You deserve the best. And this again is going to feed beneficial bacteria and reduce gut inflammation. Lifestyle. Bon, managing your stress. You cannot heal a leaky gut while living in a chronic fight or flight mode. Okay, breathing. Cardiac coherence, it's good for that. You can do it 3 minutes per day, 3 times a day. You can do yoga nidra, yin yoga, qigong. I love that platform. I'm obsessed with her. Range, R-A-N-G-E. Her name is Cara Duval. That platform for me is my new thing. She does strength training, qigong, yoga, Pilates, fascia release. I mean, everything on the same platform finally. I love it. You also have meditation, like she's great. Honestly, I really love her. So check it out. You do have a 7 free-day trial if you would like to try, but she's truly amazing. Sleep. Your gut repairs itself during sleep, particularly in the early hours of the night. Because some people are like, yeah, Marie, I'm going to bed at 2 a.m. Okay, sweetie, you just missed the shift of your liver repair and your gut. So 2 a.m., it's not going to repair much anything. So try to be in bed at 10:30, 11. Again, it's not every day, like strict, like military, but the 80%, 20%. 80% of the time, I will be in bed in 10:30, 11. Even just if you're just gonna read a book, like not on your phone, okay? Because your eyes is your liver, okay? It's connected with the liver. So I can see right away, show me your eyes, I will tell you if your liver is okay. Mine is not, my eyes are always red because I was born with a non-fatty liver, so that's it, okay? Lucky me, amazing, but it is what it is, okay? So the blue light reactivates your liver, so more toxin, and then unfortunately you cannot sleep good after. So try 10:30, 11, 80% of the time. Movement, working out, walking, swimming, dancing, jumping in your place, doing yoga, doing Pilates, but movement, okay? Especially good for your lymphatic system. And last but not least, I'm still learning, chewing our food. We eat way too fast. That's true. I mean, I'm guilty. You know what? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, I have 20 minutes. I'm still trying to be on my phone and be like, who is my next client? Why do I? That's so bad. Because digestion begins in your mouth. The more you chew, the better it is for your gut. And most of us, we eat too fast, too distracted, too stressed, and our digestive system cannot function optimally. It's not. Everything is connected. Then some supplements. Again, always work with your practitioner, okay, for dosing and specifics, like magnesium. Support, of course, gut motility. It calms the nervous system and it improves the sleep. Digestive enzymes, if you struggle to break down food, okay? There is a good one by June. June is a good brand, like there is it's in drops, digestive enzymes. Zinc is also very good, like it supports the gut lining integrity. Probiotics, when you need it, okay? But your food should be your main probiotics, okay? But again, if you go after surgery, giving birth, unfortunately, having a miscarriage or an abortion, you know, like also perimenopause and menopause, you can also take probiotics, you know, to help you, okay? Or when unfortunately you're also mourning, you know, a loss, you know, grief, you know, it can also help. And L-glutamine as well. It's a primary food for gut lining cells, and it supports repairs of intestinal permeability as well. And then finally, my gemmotherapy, because I love that, okay, for gut and brain health. So again, gemmotherapy, we use the embryonic tissue of the plants, the buds and the young, okay, shoots of trees. So that's why there is actually the highest concentration of growth factors, okay, in gemmotherapy. And it's hormones, vitamins, and everything. That's why we give low dosage, because we don't need that much, okay? And it works, of course, at a cellular level, which I really, really love. It has been helping me a lot, you know, like in a lot of things, gut health, brain health, but anything. So first one is a common fig, for especially if you have a leaky gut, okay, and your nervous system. It works for both of them. It will be my first recommendation. Alors, always when you start a new gemmotherapy, you try 1 drop for 3 mornings, okay, to see, you know, like how your body is going to react. If it's good, you can do 15 drops morning and at lunch, if you are in that leaky gut phase and everything, okay? So for the gut-brain connection. So it helps to repair and restore the integrity of your intestinal lining. It reduces inflammation. And it helps, you know, like the gut filter, you know, to properly work again. On a nervous level, okay, like, because again, it's connected, it's gonna help your solar plexus. Your solar plexus, you know, is your inner power, inner energy. It helps, you know, like this is the seat of your emotional processing, where personal power and personal safety as well, okay? Because again, you know, that gut intuition, when you are scared or when you are excited, that's also your nervous system, okay? That's also your inner power and inner energy right there. So it helps regulate your nervous system, your anxieties that lives in your belly, and restore a sense of groundness. Okay, I'm grounded, you know, like it's okay, you know, like I'm grounded in the soil. So common fig for me, it's a good one. Horse chestnut, that's the one I gave you earlier on, you know, like it's when you have congestion, especially in your lower body, your hips, you know, like, and your legs, okay, like water retention. Again, a lot of women can suffer from it, you know, especially around their cycle, you know, and everything. Also, if you notice that your ankles, you know, swell by end of the day, again, marks from your socks, or waistbands, that your lower body feels heavy, congested, or uncomfortable, horse chestnut is great. As well for hemorrhoids. Again, it's not very glamorous, but hemorrhoids, it's when you are just, your pelvic floor is congested. That's what's going on, okay? Like it's as basic as it is. So it works also very powerfully on your lymphatic circulations and on your vein systems, okay? Like all of the circulation, blood circulation. It straightens your veins walls. If you have spider veins, you know, like, and all of this, it can also tremendously help you. It reduces the vascular permeability. That's how you see those spider veins, you know, on your legs, you know, that we don't really like actually. And it supports the lymphatic drainage in your lower body as well. And it's also relevant for your gut health, because a poor lymphatic circulation around the abdomen slows the clearance of inflammatory waste products. Again, everything is connected. Okay, drainage matters as much as repair. Okay, like you have to drain before repairing. And of course, hormonal water retention as well. Hormonal water retention is most of the time when you have progesterone deficiency. If you would like to know if you do have a progesterone deficiency, you do a blood test from day 19 to 21. 21 being the best, okay, just to see. And it can also cause dampness. Kuzu Kuzu is also great for dampness, if you feel like it, okay? Black currant. Alors, horse chestnut is the same thing. Alors, no, horse chestnut, no, actually, thank you so much. You start with 1 drop, just to see, okay, how it is. And then you can go from 3 to 6 drops every morning. It's a tonic, so it's a bit stronger. Black currant, inflammation and adrenal support. It's that cortisol, okay, that adrenal. Anti-inflammatory for sure. It helps, with inflammation. It supports also your adrenal system. So important as your adrenal system becomes your 3rd ovary, okay? Like it takes the lead after the menopause. Everything will be based on your adrenal system, okay? So that's your safety, your belonging. So it is very good to do black currant, especially from summer to fall and from winter to spring. That's when your adrenal system is rebalancing, okay? So you can always do a 21 days black currant, like 5 drops, 5 to 15 drops, in the morning. It's great, okay? Walnut, microbiome balance and your gut flora, if you also like. And it also antibacterial and antifungal, which is good, like when, I don't know, maybe you went to a country where, the water is not that great, or you had a lot of, fruits, like an exotic, meals. Maybe also you're just gonna bring a few more bacteria and everything in your gut. It's always great. And it helps also to rebalance your gut flora. So this is good too. And it helps with the nervous system as well. Again, you start with 1 drop to see, and then 5 to 10 drops morning and evening. Rosemary, only in the morning. It's a tonic. It's for your liver and detoxification, okay? If you would like. So the liver is a great filter of the body. I will talk more about it in June. But when your gut is leaky and inflamed, your liver might also be overwhelmed. They're all working together. Alors for rosemary, you do 1 drop at first and then 3 drops in the morning. It's a cure, okay? Like it's for 10 days, 20 days, okay? After that, you stop, okay? Like it's not always rosemary. And yeah, so rosemary, walnut, black currant, horse chestnut, and common fig. The website where I go, it's Lorraine Hulule, Hululele, okay? Like that's the one with whom I have been studying, okay? Like, so I trust her product. So here it is. Your gut is not just a digestive organ. It is your mood regulator, it is your immune center, and it is where your happiness hormone is made. So that's why I would say before taking any medication, like anti-anxiety and everything, try at first to focus on how you eat. Because that's where your power is. And I think when you finally understand what your body needs, you get that better understanding, and you don't listen to all of the noise outside of you, because I know what my body needs. And that's your strength. And for me, honestly, that's the best. So when you are having a difficult episode, when you are feeling that mentally speaking, you are not okay, maybe just look at your diet and be like, okay, I can see. Maybe, I did indulge, way too much sweetness or alcohol or greasy food. And then you can just one at a time, okay? Not everything at once. Otherwise, it's going to overwhelm you, okay? If you can start just with your breakfast. Because your breakfast conditions your day ahead. That's for sure. A good breakfast is a good day. I should create that slogan, catchphrase. But a good breakfast, guaranteed it's gonna be a good day. But that's for sure. So at least, you eat well, and usually your breakfast for the next 3 to 4 hours, you don't have to snack. I mean, this is also something that drives me nuts, you know, with my nephews, you know, is at school, giving them at 10 a.m. another snack and a snack and a snack and a snack. I mean, it's a snack country here, you know, like those kids, they keep eating constantly every day. I mean, it's insane. I know in Europe, you know, it's more strict, but I had my breakfast, my lunch, my little pain au chocolat, and then my dinner, and that's it. Kids in America, they are constantly snacking. But snacking is not a real meal. It's a snack, okay? Like, it's just like the snack at 4 p.m., just, you know, like going the bridge from the lunch to the dinner. But we're always, you know, snacking. It's not good either. Your digestive system needs to rest. So, you know, when you're having a good breakfast, again, for 4 hours, you should not be starving. If you are starving, too much sugar, so you crash, okay? Or your breakfast was not enough. Because also, you know, like the eat less for women, that's bullshit. No, eat more. You want to lose weight, eat more. Not the chocolate. Eat more proteins, fibers, you know, good fat. That also is very, very important. Okay, like that's a big lie. That's a really big lie. Men, sure, they're gonna eat less, they're gonna lose weight. Yes, but that's for men, not for women. Of weight, you know, that we just lost. Because that's our body. We are here to give life. So our body needs fat, you know, to get pregnant and everything. So female body stores more. Period. But we keep telling us to be like a man, you know, and diet like a man. This is bullshit. Because men do not carry life. So if at some point they're going to stop eating, of course they're going to lose everything and they're not going to gain anything. That's unfair. I mean, for sure, you know, like, but anyway, this is life. So anyway, if do you have any questions? Or everything is clear? And again, you will get the recording, you know, like, so don't worry about that. But yeah, and you can always send me an email, you know, like if you have any questions. But thank you so much for caring for your health. Because that's great. So thank you so much and have a lovely evening. Thank you, thank you. Bye, bye.